Hi, I'm SJ and this is Infinite Fire Readings. Thank you so much for being here, as always. This channel is here to assist you with all of your manifestation inquiries and guidance so that you can manifest your dream reality into existence. That's my aim and intention here. Today, I've taken on your feedback in my Facebook group below. It's a free group you can join if you haven't already. I have taken on the feedback there and I will be doing a video in regards to mental health and manifesting good mental health. Please keep in mind I am not a trained psychologist or counselor. I do not have a degree in any area regarding mental health. All I know is the power of affirmations and the benefit that they have provided for me. So that is the experience that I will be sharing with you today. So let's have a look at how to get our mental health into a position that is far more beneficial for us as we continue to manifest our journey along the way. In terms of the concept of manifestation, mental health and having negative or poor mental health can really be seen as having a garden of your mind that you have let every single weed grow and have not maintained for potentially a long time. Every thought we have is planting a seed into our mental garden. And if that seed is planted enough, and some of those seeds take hold and start to grow, we're going to start to see the effects of those thoughts in our reality. If we are regularly having thoughts like, I should have done this right, why did I do that wrong? This is awful, I'm such a bad person. Oh, I can never get things right. Why can't I remember where I put things? I just want too much out of life. I don't want enough out of life. Oh, why do I suck at this? Oh my gosh, they're going to be so affected by what I've done. If only I were cleaner. If only I were richer. If only I were thinner. If only I were thicker. Why can't I make any more money? Why can't I save money? Why am I so ugly? Why am I not pretty enough? Why is everyone else always prettier than me? I'm no good at relationships. I just can't make things last. Life is a struggle. Why do I struggle so much? I always struggle so much. This is so hard. I'm just not capable. Ultimately, I am not good enough. All of these thoughts, if said on a regular, consistent basis for a long period of time, even a short period of time, can have an impact on our reality and how we interact with it and how it interacts with us. When we constantly allow these types of thoughts, these negative thoughts, to filtrate into the garden of our mind and let them take hold and affirm them regularly and let them grow and then hold beliefs about them and let those grow, it perpetuates itself into a mental environment which is really hard to navigate and really unfun to be in. Predominantly, all of these thoughts as well that I listed are around self-concept. The concept that we have of ourselves is huge. It's enormous in terms of our mental health. If we view ourselves to be someone that's incapable, poor, unable, not good enough, we're going to feel that and we're going to experience those results in our life. We will subconsciously seek the evidence that reflects that back to us. We can do it in ways of self-sabotage as well, where we might have something good, though we hold the belief so strongly that we're going to mess this up, and therefore somehow we find a way to do it. These self-defeating, unapproving thoughts around your self-concept are what are creating the reality that you don't enjoy. In order to shift this reality, we have to proactively go into the mental garden of our mind and uproot the thoughts that do not serve us. De-weed the garden of thoughts that are no longer beneficial, not assisting us, and start to landscape our mental garden to reflect what we want to see in our life, the beliefs that we want to have be true about us and about our reality. This is a proactive process, and I believe there are some fundamental thoughts that really affect the cogs of how this garden stays maintained. As someone who's been in a position of poor mental health a few times in my life, I really can relate to the struggle of trying to lift your headspace up into a place that serves you better. Albeit this being an affirmation, it can be quite tricky to lift yourself out of that situation. However, I want to challenge that thought and say, it's only as tricky as you believe it is. We even want to change that thought to start saying it's easy for me to lift my headspace into a better place. This might be a challenging concept, especially if you've been stuck in a mental health space for a while that doesn't serve you. However, I believe that the reason we stay stuck in mental health is less about the concept we hold of ourselves around negative things and more about the concept we hold of how easy or difficult it is to come into a different mental state. If you have very strong beliefs that it's hard to change, difficult to change your mindset, impossible to get out of the situation, nothing ever works for you, it's not going to change anything, these, just as all of the self-concept beliefs that might be sitting there not benefiting you, are weeds in your garden. They have exactly the same weight and effect as the concepts that you have around yourself and any other thought that you've planted in your garden. They are also just thoughts. And what happens is we say, yes, I know I need to change these thoughts about myself. However, it's so difficult to do so. We put the thought, it's so difficult to do so, in a separate category as though it can't be changed. But it can be changed. In fact, it's the one that probably needs the most change. If you're looking at climbing a mountain to the top of your dream reality, and that mountain is rugged, awful, windy, freezing cold, hypothermia temperatures, climbing that mountain is probably not something you're going to want to do anytime soon. You can refer this analogy to your own mental health and the thoughts you have around how hard it is to get where you want to be. If the mountain that you're looking at has a beautiful goal that was full of thoughts and terrain and rugged territory of this is extremely difficult, it's going to be impossible to change, I'm never going to be able to do it, this is really, really hard, no matter how hard I persist, I fail. If that's the terrain of climbing your mountain, you're probably going to slip and slide and fall all the way back down every time because you have a belief that that mountain is very, very, very hard to climb. Before we work on the specific dream goals that you're wanting to achieve, you have to change how you're perceiving your mountain. You need to reduce that mountain to a bit more of a molehill or something that's at least more reasonable to climb. And we do that through how we perceive and view the terrain of the mountain. If we're looking at how impossible it is, how hard it is, how unachievable it is, we're going to seek the pathways that reflect that reality back to us subconsciously. It will just happen. If we want to have the mountain be an easier mountain to climb, we have to start perceiving that mountain as easy to climb. It's easy for me to change. It's getting easier and easier every day for me to change. I am willing to change. I'm willing to understand that every single thought I have about my mental health is a thought that I can choose to change. I have always been good at shifting and adapting. I have always been good at adjusting to life. I am an incredible person when it comes to changing my mind. I can lift my headspace up really, really quickly. I can keep it there for long, long periods of time. We want to start creating a belief system around changing our mindset, which is easy for us and makes reaching our goals a lot more achievable. If you're watching this and you're thinking, but it is really hard for me to change, this doesn't work, it's not going to work, I've tried everything, it's not going to have an effect on me. All of these are beliefs. And the stronger you believe in those beliefs, the more emotional attachment you have to those beliefs, the more they are taking effect in your reality. You do proactively have to work on the core beliefs that you have around changing your own mind. You can affirm for days that you're a good person, everything's always working out, things are going right for you, you're a brilliant human, you have everything you want in your reality, everything's good. Though if under the surface you're also affirming, oh, this is really impossible, I don't believe this isn't how my mind works, things aren't going to change, you're creating both of those situations. You might have effects from some of the affirmations that you affirm in regards to things going well, though you're also going to have effects in regards to the things you affirm regarding the beliefs around how the mind works. Your mind is your tool to do as you will with it. And if you choose to select beliefs that it's really hard to change, it's going to be hard to get mental health happening, you just aren't capable, it's never worked for you, those are all beliefs that you are holding that will create and continue to persist in that reality for you. You have to start affirming for what you actually want. And that might be as basic as it's easy for me to change. I am so good at getting into a good headspace and staying there. My attitude is improving every day. I have such a healthy attitude towards life. I am calm and peaceful. These are far more beneficial affirmations for getting ourselves into a mental headspace that serves us. It's easy for me to climb my own dream mountain. My mountain is so calm and peaceful. There are always easy paths to follow for me to get where I want to go. Really beneficial affirmations again. It is possible for me. I am good enough. It's easy for me to do what I want to do. It's easy for me to get there. I am the right person. I am the best person, and I can achieve anything I want to achieve. All of these are much better affirmations to affirm. Now, please understand that as you're doing this, there will possibly be resistance, and this is why. If you start affirming that it's easy for you to change, everything comes easily for you, your mental health is absolutely awesome, and selecting a good mindset is the easiest thing you've ever done, you're creating a few tiny little pathways and planting a few new seeds into your garden. However, there might be some significantly rooted plants that are still lingering in your garden that you have to uproot. So as you're sprinkling in these new thought seeds that everything's easy, they might be bouncing off the held-in weeds that this is really hard, this is quite difficult, I'm not capable, it's never going to work for me. In those moments, you have a conscious choice to go back to looking at those gardens and choosing those weeds. See, it's not working for me. This is really hard. It's not going to happen. It's not possible. However, it's just resistance to your new affirmations. What you want to do in those moments is go, no, no, no. It's definitely easy for me. It's getting easier every day. I know there's a good future for me. I know it's a wonderful outcome for me. I know with all of my being that I am capable of change, and I will come into a good headspace, and I will be able to manage my own mental health much more easily for the rest of my life. You want to counter that even more so. Every time you counter those negative, unhelpful thoughts that are probably going to be a little bit persistent to start with because you've held on to them for a while and your mind is used to doing that. It's easy for it to go down those pathways. We're creating new pathways. If you want, you can associate it with the concept of neuroplasticity. Every time you counter those negative thoughts with your new positive thoughts, you will be uprooting the negative thoughts that don't serve you and throwing them away into the compost to be recycled and rechurned out, and they can start help creating new soil for your new seeds to grow. You might find it gets reflected in situations. Say you have a belief that no one understands you, and therefore whatever you do, you never feel understood. You have to start affirming for the opposite. Everyone understands me. Everyone understands me. Everyone's supportive of what I want. At first, you might still get the same effects. Even though you're affirming that everyone's understanding you, people might still come to you and not understand you. Just understand it's a shift and a process. It takes a little bit of time, and as long as you persist with the decision that you will not stop persisting until you get the result you want, it will change. So keep affirming, even though there might be evidence in your reality that says that this is hard, no one's going to understand you, mental health is a challenge, this is impossible. Keep affirming the opposite. It's easy. Everyone understands me. They always have. It's going to be easily possible for me to change. I've always been understood. It's always been easy for me to do this. Affirm the opposite, no matter what. Mental health can absolutely be seen as your own garden, your own mental muscle that you have to attend to on a regular basis. I remember when I first was understanding my own mind and how my life felt on an emotional level. When I was younger, it felt like it was in waves. I was happy, I was sad, I was happy, I was sad. I'd figure something out, I'd feel really good, I'd get into a state of affirming a lot for what I wanted, not really understanding quite what I was doing yet, though a bit of a grasp on it, and I'd become really, really happy again, feel amazing, and then I would just stop affirming. I thought, I've made it, we're sweet, this is how life is now, everything's peachy, I'll just sit back and relax. Not ideal. Not an ideal decision. It's in those times when we relax and we stop tending to our garden of our mind that weeds can start creeping in again. The mind is a very, very, very active thing. It likes to think a lot. And it's going to come up with thoughts that are positive and negative, that serve you and don't serve you, all of the time. It's just the thoughts that you choose to adopt and plant which will create your life for you. So you can't necessarily avoid negative thoughts all the time. Maybe there's an affirmation out there that would create that. I'd be down to give that a go. Why not? However, it's likely that you could still see negative thoughts pop into your mind no matter what part of your life you're at, no matter how often you affirm for good things. It's just a matter of going, no, I don't need that thought. Let's keep planting good thoughts. You're going to have to do that on occasion. With a garden that's in nature, even if you tend to it every day, leaves still fall off the trees, seeds from other areas still come and plant themselves in the garden because they're being blown by the wind. That garden constantly needs maintenance to stay as pristine and perfect as the gardener has decided they want it to be, or the owner, or whoever owns that garden. It's the same thing with the garden of your mind. You constantly have to tend to that garden in order for it to stay happy. Eventually, I figured this out more, and now I'm much happier than I used to be because I understand that, yes, I still get negative thoughts, though I don't have to plant those thoughts anymore, and I can remove those thoughts and put good thoughts in their place. I can get myself back on a good feeling energy, a good thought system, one that serves me with a lot more ease than I was ever really able to because I didn't understand that it is a regular daily practice. Mental health is a lifestyle choice. Some people are born possibly with naturally more positive thoughts, naturally more confidence, and that's something that was deeply ingrained when they were younger based on, who knows, a myriad of things, their own mindset, DNA, genetics, I don't know. However, they seem to have this good mindset and they seem to be able to stay quite focused on what they want with ease. There are other people that that's a little bit more of a challenge for, at least at first, maybe for the rest of your life. However, it's understanding that every day you maintain that garden. Every day you uproot things that don't serve you and you make sure that the plants that you've planted that are good for you are still growing, watered, healthy, nurtured. It takes energy, it takes effort. View it as an exercise analogy for those of you who like to exercise. I always do the gym analogy. Not that I go to the gym, I don't personally like the gym, I prefer to exercise outside, but it is a really good analogy because it's very simple to understand even if you don't go to the gym. If you go to the gym and you do 10 push-ups a day, 10 squats a day, 10 sit-ups a day, 10 crunches, 10 lunges, 20 minutes of jogging, whatever your workout is. And you do that for, 3 to 5 days a week for 2 weeks, and boom, you start to see some results. And at this point, you might go, you know what? We're sweet, I'm good, I'm out of here. Though if you continue to do the habits that you did before, you'll just end up back in the same position that you were in before you went to the gym. If you were to continue the gym routine for a year and also work on your diet, what you're putting in your body, and persist at this for a year, you're going to maintain your physical state with much more ease, and it's going to become an ingrained habit for you to do these things to keep that maintenance, to keep that happening, to keep healthy and keep fit. The mind is exactly the same thing. Your thoughts are exactly the same. Your mind garden is exactly the same. If you tend to it for a few weeks, you will see results. It will look better. Though if a few big weeds are really getting to you and you just can't be bothered and you're going, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, you will return to a state that is most natural to you. And if that state has been affirming negative, unhelpful thoughts, that is the reality that you will continue to experience if you don't put in the effort. If you do put in the effort and you persist at this for a long period of time, a year or so, you'll see dramatic results. It's been shown all the time for this to occur when people really persist at changing their life. It's the same with mental health, and it's the same with maintaining your own mind state. Exact same premise and principles. And going to the gym starts with thoughts and starts with a decision, just to clarify. I think it's a really good 3D analogy, though, to explain how change and individual small decisions build up over time and create big, lasting, tangible results. So you want to start affirming that it's easy for you to do this. You're more than capable of doing this. You do this all the time. You are happy to change your life for the rest of your life to be someone happy. That's a really good affirmation, actually. If you are struggling with mental health and you are serious about changing it, you can affirm right here, right now, I decide right now that I am going to change my thoughts for the better for the rest of my life, and I will not stop until I die. No matter what, I am going to choose to live a mentally healthy life every second of every day, and mean it. Saying something like that can be of huge benefit to you. When I was quitting alcohol, I looked up a WikiHow article and it told me to stand my feet on the ground and affirm I will never ever drink again, and mean it. And so I did it, and I said it, and I meant it. And that still had a hold today because I committed to it in that moment, and every single second, every day, every minute, it's a decision to stay sober. It's the same with choosing for good mental health. Every second, every day, every minute, there are thoughts in my mind that I can choose to follow. I can choose to select them. I'm not good enough, this isn't working, I'm not capable. You can choose to drink those thoughts, just like you can drink any beverage or choose unhealthy food over healthy food. Or in those moments, you can choose to go, no, I'm done with that. I don't like that reality anymore. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't have good results. It doesn't serve me. I release what no longer serves me. I am going to choose good thoughts. I am more than capable of choosing good thoughts. It might take effort, but it's getting easier and easier for me to do this, and I'm going to commit to this for the rest of my life. Every day, every minute, every hour, until I get the life I want. That is how manifestation works, and that is how you can change your mindset, is by persisting no matter what. No matter what. No matter what. You just continue to persist in the outcome that you want for the rest of your life if it's required. And that's a small ask if by persisting for the rest of your life in positive mental thoughts, you have a wonderful positive life. It's worth the effort. If it seems like too much effort, then I would really question which is more important to you, staying miserable and staying unhappy and in a mental space that doesn't serve you, or changing and making the effort vigilantly to become who you want to become, to have the mindset you want to have. Weigh up those two options. If you want to stay where you are, fine, stay where you are. If it serves you, wonderful. If it doesn't, that's on you. We all have free will. We all have choice to make our own decisions. And our free will lies in our ability to choose our thoughts every time, all the time. I intend that this video has given you some kind of clarity around what you can do to change your mental health into a positive space and platform for you to manifest the reality that you want and dream about. Every single thought you are having is affecting your reality. Every single one, including your beliefs about how easy or hard it is to change your mindset. Start with those beliefs. It's easy for me to change my mind into what I want to be. That is a good starting point. I am good enough to do it. Start with those two and work up from there. I might make a part 2 to this video just because it is quite an extensive topic, though feel free to comment below. Please like and subscribe to join the community here. I would love to have you on board. Thank you so much for watching this video. Light and blessings as always, and I'll catch you in your next video. Bye.